Okay, everybody, just a moment. I'm going to see if I can get Nye here. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, that'll work. Oh. Hi, Nanette. Oh my gosh. Hello?
Hello.
Oh
Can you
my
hear me?
gosh. Hallelujah. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. This is my iPad. I could not uh, see myself with my computer, and I don't know why.
That's
Now I've got to
hilarious.
do a balancing act. Now you got my son's anime poster instead of my shelf of movies in the background. Oh well, I should have done a run through with my son today or something, but he's in college. I don't want to bother him.
uh,
You
yeah.
remember I did that stream. I did that video with him in August.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, he'll be back. Yeah, well, he came back like 4 times, but we're always so busy that I've never been able to do a video with him again.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Nanette. Um, yeah, so I might. This would be a lot harder for me to type in comments, everybody. So I'll probably just like verbally acknowledge them.
Okay.
So so how you doing?
We're doing okay.
That's good. Good.
Uh,
Good. Had work today?
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
get up early this morning.
Okay.
I had to be there for 10 o'clock.
Oh,
But
10 o'clock. Wow, that's early.
yeah,
I
I'm
have to be
not
working.
normally. I'm not normally there early. I'm more late afternoon.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's my
So for yeah.
normal schedule.
All right. I have to
Whew.
be at work at 6. So yeah.
Ugh,
Well, it
dang.
used back in the day. It used to be 3:30 in the morning. I used to work like a crazy shift. Um. So yeah. So I went to Horror Bowl last weekend
Mhm.
instead of Super Bowl Sunday. I went to Horror Bowl. It was actually kind of cool because when I was coming back, it was right outside of Philadelphia. When I was coming back, all the into the city, I had to go like through the city. I
Mhm.
had to drop my son off. Uh, a lot of the buildings had green lights for the Eagles, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we saw. Let me see if I can get the poster. So it was. It's pretty
Ooh.
cool. They have these custom made posters they make every year.
Yeah, looks like Creep Show.
Yeah. So we could. My son went with me, and he kind of humored me. He had a good time. But he was like, do we have to stay for the last one? So I said, you know what? The Shining as the last one,
Oh no.
that would have been long, you know.
Ooh.
So that would have got, yeah, that would have finished at like 9 at night, and then we would have had to drive
Oh.
home. It's
Mm.
a little bit more than an hour away too. So,
Mm.
but I definitely want to go back to that theater. That's where they have the Blob Fest.
Blobfest, what is that?
Well, that's in the movie The Blob. That's the actual theater they used at the end of the movie.
Oh, cool.
You remember when they're watching the movie and the blob starts coming through the vents and everyone runs out? So
Mhm.
they restored that theater and they have
Ooh.
they have like a festival. It's like a convention, kind of a festival, but they
Mhm.
show the movie and then when they get to that part in the movie, they stop the movie and everyone runs out into the street, just
Oh,
just like in the movie. So
oh,
and a lot of people wear
cool.
like costumes and things. So
Mhm.
it would be a cool place to go because I remember my watching that with my dad. And he would always bring up these little factoids. He's like, "Well, they filmed that right outside of Philadelphia." And then he was like, "See that where it says Stephen McQueen?
Mhm.
He's Steve McQueen. That kind of thing." But it was a good time. My son had never seen either movie, Creepshow or Christine.
What? Creep
Yeah,
what? Oh
he's
my
not really a
god.
huge horror guy. Uh,
Say what? Oh my gosh.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
oh,
I mean,
I'm
so, but
shocked.
but it was fun to watch. Well, first of all, Creepshow looked. I mean, it was very washed out and grainy and scratchy, but that was okay. I didn't mind that. It kind of reminded me of the way you may have seen it years ago. But
Mm.
it was fun knowing all the the jump scares were coming, and he's just sitting there and he has no idea. When the hand
Mhm.
comes out of the ground, and the Father's Day thing, and the neck snapping. That's the one he jumped at. I love that one.
uh, Father's Day and Something to Tie You Over. Those are my two favorites.
Yeah, Terrence was just talking about Leslie Nielsen in that one. He's
Mhm.
so great because I mean, back in the
Yeah.
'50s, he was like a mean tough guy in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
He was
I've
like a
seen some
thug.
of his stuff. Mhm.
So he was, he kind of went back to that. Of course, that was before. Was Creepshow
But
after Airplane?
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think it was. I think it was a couple years after Airplane. So he had just
Okay.
started to do like the parodies, you know. But of course, the parody was the reason it was so funny is because he played that similar character as a serious character in one of those airport movies. They had all
Mhm.
those airport disaster movies in the '70s.
Mhm.
So he was spoofing on that serious role because he used to be Mr. Serious Guy. But I love when he's like he goes out to like recover the bodies and he can't find them and he's like rationalizing it. He's like, the tide must have washed them out. The way he like kind of tilts his head, like, and then you hear like the Ted Danson character Richard and the way in the distance and he kind of tilts his head like, no, I didn't hear that. No, yeah,
Have you seen him in Day of the Animals?
yeah,
Mm.
that's insane. At the end, he's shirtless with a stick fighting a bear, right? Yeah, but that's like the old Leslie Nielsen, the tough guy. you know, the
Mhm.
tough guy role, you know.
Yeah.
There's one episode of Night Gallery where he plays like a hunter. He's got like an eye patch,
Mhm.
and these two guys, they have some kind of grudge against him. So they're talking about a haunted house, and they know that he's listening. So then he butts in, and he's like, that's a bunch of crap. So eventually, they convinced him to go to the haunted house, and they
Mm.
scare the hell out of him. And the whole thing turns out to be a setup at the end to get him. But that's a good one because he's like, he's like spoofing the tough guy image.
Mhm.
And then there was another one he was in because they used to have these like 5-minute episodes at the end.
Mhm.
Most of those aren't very good, but he did like a Phantom of the Opera one, and apparently his mask was like coming off while they were filming it, and
Mhm.
they kept filming it, and him and the actress that he has tied down were kind of like laughing, so it became more of a comedy, just kind of like on the fly. But those ones they saved for the end that were only like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, or they were usually comedies anyway, which you know they weren't usually very good. The main episodes were better, but I'm rambling. Anyway, you want to see some of the stuff I got lately?
Sure.
All right. Oh well, I put the iPad on my movies. What a disaster. I showed these. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix something here. It's not gonna work. What a disaster. What a disaster. Yeah, I showed these on Instagram. These were at Walmart. I couldn't resist.
Oh,
The
cool.
Valentine's Day covers. So I got to watch the original. This is the remake. You know,
I haven't seen the remake. I still haven't seen.
it's okay. I saw it years ago, and to be
Us.
honest, the only thing I remembered about it was Tom Atkins was in it, and
What?
yeah, Tom Atkins is in
Oh.
it. I got to be honest with you. I love Tom Atkins, and actually last year they had for Horror Bowl it was Tom Atkins Bowl. They had like Halloween 3, uh, Night of the Creeps, and The Fog, I think. And
Mhm.
I really wanted to go to that one, but I couldn't. But the guy that plays the sheriff in the original, I hate to say it, you know, he's better than Tom Atkins is in the remake, and I think
Oh.
that's mostly that's part of it is because of the writing. Yeah, I agree. Oh, Ant and Hobbs and Babang, thank you Babang for listening. Babang's from the Philippines. Babang, that's why I asked you for those movies recommendations tonight, because
Okay.
a lot of people from Babang's channel came over and uh, watched some of my videos. And some of them, like there's one lady from South Korea that's a really nice lady, plays the piano. I kind
Mhm.
of feel bad because she'll go on to one of my horror videos and just to say hi, and I don't think that's her cup of tea. You know, so I actually been referring people to my other channel
Mhm.
where I'm mostly just making little videos for my granddaughter now, and I decided to start sharing them with people. So one of them's got like 1,500 views. So
Whoa.
whoa, I didn't know that was going to take off. You know,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
awesome.
But yeah, the artwork is great for these. Now, and then I got another one, and I kind of, to be honest, I kind of regret getting this movie in this with these Valentine's Day covers because of the subject matter of the movie. You know what I mean? Like the other
Yeah.
ones were like Love and Monsters. They had some other ones. But I'm like, yeah, I got it. And then I got it home. I'm like, I'm not going to show that one because I don't want people to get the wrong idea because what happens in this movie is truly horrible, right?
I spit on no.
But it's not like a jokey. Hey, this is for Valentine's
Oh
Day.
my
You know what I mean?
gosh. That's not. I'm, that's cool, but that one I spit on your grave. What the hell? No.
This is the remake of I Spin a Grave, which is pretty much maybe not as
It's
shocking as the
either
original one, but
one. That's
I was like
oh, that's fun.
I liked it, but it's not for everybody, and it's the kind of movie you review and you tell people that, and you tell people what's in it, what to
Mhm.
expect in case that's not their cup of tea. So I
Mhm.
was like, oh, did I really get the Valentine's Day cover of that movie? Um, but I like
Yeah.
people. Have you seen the remake?
I've seen the first one. Yeah, they have several.
Yeah,
Like,
there's two remakes. People seem to be all over the place with them. Some people like the second one, which has different characters, and then some people really like the third one, which is a sequel to this one, which I've seen. That one's pretty good. Um, oh, hi, Basic Autumn Wing Queen. Hello. Hi, Mama Bear Storm.
hi.
Hello. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, and then there's a direct remake of the original, which looks like absolute hot garbage. I mean, they went like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre family vibe, and it looks like, and it's like over 2 hours. And
What?
I know Danny B from the Trash Stash reviewed it, and he kind of liked it for being schlocky, but it doesn't seem like it is deserving of being a direct sequel to the original. All right, I'm doing something different here. What a disaster. The thing about these covers is, like, I just also got I also got for $1.95 from Hamilton Books. I just got Westworld, classic movie, Yul Brenner. But a while ago, I picked up this glow in the dark cover from Walmart. I'm a sucker for glow in the dark. So, but looking at it, I haven't taken this one out of the plastic yet, and this one's in the plastic. It's exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I paid I forget what I paid, like $7.95 for basically a glow in the dark cover. So I don't know.
I need to go back to Hamilton Books. I used to order from them like crazy, but now it's Amazon. I can't help it. Or eBay.
eBay is good. Yeah. You find some stuff on eBay. I found some of those Hammer horror collections on eBay. And you know what? Like Hamilton, I actually found, like I would type in Hammer horror and a few collections would come up. And, but then they also had a couple crime compilations from Hammer. The majority of Hammer films were not horror. It's close. It's like 45% to 55%. And some of their non-horror movies are really good. So you would think that would come up in their search bar when you look for Hammer, but it didn't. So you got to look around a little bit. But yeah, sometimes on eBay you find some really good Hammer compilations, collections. Yeah, Hamilton Books is great. I got my eye on a movie I want to get for a friend of mine. It's like a 2-movie set. And I was, it's like $25, but I want to see if it comes down in price. That Roadhouse that people were talking about, the 4K. Some people were like, because they came out with like 4K of Roadhouse for $40. A lot of people were like $40. My gosh, it's already $30 at Hamilton, and I bet it's going to go down. I'm gonna keep my eye on it just for curiosity, But yeah, they have some pretty good deals. But I don't know. I'm gonna try to avoid the special covers for a while. And then there's Hamilton Books, and then there's Oldies. You ever go to oldies.com?
I was on there once. I didn't like the prices.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, they've been coming down. I mean,
that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I've gotten some, like the one I showed it a while ago. It was like it's called a Buggin' Out 2-pack from Troma. I forget the names of the movies, but they both involved bugs. So I got that for $1. Now they have it for 69 cents.
What?
They got a lot of things for 69 cents. Yeah. Like I was ordering I got an album. I don't even own a record player, but I got an album a while back. And then I was looking through their albums. They had an album for a band called Striper, which I saw in high school, for 29 cents. So I was like, well, as long as I'm getting the one album, the other one will fit in the package. It's not going to do anything to the shipping for 29 cents. So yeah, they have some really, some pretty good deals. But anyway, this was $3. Sons of Kong.
Son of Kong.
Ready? Here we go. Ready? That's pretty cool, right?
Wow, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool. unfortunately, it would be great if they had like one really like good one on here, like Son of Kong, which they don't, or Mighty Joe Young, or even Conga. But they don't. They don't. I've heard Conga's fun. I've heard a lot of people review that recently.
I never seen it. I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
haven't seen it.
And so they got The Ape with Boris Karloff, Bride of the Gorilla, A Brooklyn Gorilla with Bela Lugosi, White
Oh, that
Gorilla,
reminds me.
White
That reminds me.
White Pongo.
The monkey movie. There's a movie with Michael Gow in it. Do you know what it's called?
Yeah, that's
I've
Conga.
seen it. That's Conga?
Conga. Yeah, that's what's
Oh,
Conga.
I have seen it then.
Oh, you have seen it.
I
Yeah.
thought it was called something else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
That was
Conga.
a
I know
long
Michael
time
Gow is
ago.
in that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's died a long time ago. I
Yeah.
have seen it. I need to rewatch it. I just remember Michael Gow and there's an ape in it. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Cool.
When
Yeah.
I first connected that he was in a lot of the Butler from the Batman movies, from what you guys would call the old Batman movies, the ones from back in my day, that he was in all those movies when he was younger. I got such a kick out of going back and finding him in those movies. Have you seen the Hammer Phantom of the Opera recently?
No, I don't think I have. I've seen different versions. I've got confused. Like, there's the one with Robert Englund in it. That's my favorite one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And one that Argento directed. His daughter's in it. I've seen that one.
Asian, yeah. No, this is one of the way back ones. It's like, what's the Hammer one? It's got Herbert Lom, and it's got Michael Gow, and he plays like I guess he's in charge of the opera. And I swear to God, it's almost like he's playing an early version of Harvey Weinstein. I mean, he's such a dirtbag in this movie. But then what happens is when the Phantom takes his mask off at the end, the Michael Gow character runs out of the room, and he basically runs out of the movie. You never get to see him have his comeuppance. It's like he's such a villain. He's such a bad guy. You hate him so much. You want to see something horrible happen to him, and he just goes, he runs out of the movie. But apparently they had some budget issues with that one. That was one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
But check out the way they package the inside of it, though, right? They got a couple CDs over here. That's fine, and then the rest of them they just crammed in here. That's a little budget, but like I said, like $3.
I was looking in the comments. Hobbs said just got done watching Elm Street 3 and just finished part 4. Any thoughts from the panel? Yeah, I don't remember 3.
Which one is Dream Warriors 3?
Was it? That was part 5.
Oh, right. That was part 5.
Is it? Yeah.
Well, I remember the song because I was a fan of that band, Dokken. It's the Dream Warriors. Apparently that they're still going on tour, and that guy can't really sing anymore. And people are like, why? It's very obvious he cannot sing. He's lost his voice, but he's just like he keeps like pushing it, But yeah, I remember that one. That was a pretty good one. I know I have a soft spot for 2 because I saw it in the theater.
I like 2.
Yeah.
I mean, people hate on it, but I liked it.
It's okay. Because I remember the first one, people were talking about it in the hallways after it came out, like high school students. They were like legitimately still scared, like the next day, And I was like, whoa, I get it, So I didn't see that one in the theater, but we saw 2 in the theater. Kind of 4 was Dream Masters. Thanks, Hobbs. Yeah, I was wondering.
Okay.
And then let's see what else I got here. Have you heard of this? John Ellsworth from Project Ellsworth sent this to me. Actually, I was on Hamilton and I saw one of those Hammer collections that I got was like even cheaper. And he had just made a video where he said, I need to get caught up on some Hammer. So I bought it for him. And then he made a video where he got like another version of this. So he was like,
I've heard of that movie. I haven't seen it,
yeah.
though.
So
Great
we started talking. I said, you know, I got something for you, and he said, I'll send you this. So since he got a better copy of it, so I don't know. It's set in New Jersey, so I'm kind of, has a connection, so I'm kind of interested in it. In an asylum, so kind of excited to see that. Then I also got I got two of these. Sometimes when the prices are really cheap, if you hit two, you don't even notice it. You know what I mean? If it says $6, it doesn't hit you. But I got, for whatever reason, I got two copies of Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Damn it.
Yeah.
What about what's it called? Silent Night, the Toy Maker.
Oh,
I like that
Silent
movie.
Night, Deadly
Everybody
Night
hates it.
5?
I like that movie.
Oh, the Mickey Rooney. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's when that series went off the rails. But
Yeah.
that's a good thing sometimes, Hey, Echo, how you doing?
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, that's a fun one. That's Mary Warrenov is in that. She always played like kind of. I always thought of her as like a scary old lady, even though when she was in the mall movie with the robots, Killbots, she was kind of youngish then, But in this, she's actually like pretty cute. She's. And then I got this. I don't know. Speaking of trauma, Vendetta with Joey Travolta.
Joey Travolta.
Joey
Any
Travolta.
relation to
I don't know
someone?
if is he the Frank Stallone of the Travolta family. I don't really know. I assumed he was. I'm just making an assumption now. Maybe he's not. So this is the most disturbing cop movie ever. Actually, that's what they say. Nobody else said that, but that's what they say.
No, that's Maniac Cop. Well, that's just me.
So I don't know. I'm actually not a huge trauma guy, but
I'm not really. I don't really like their movies.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, to me, a lot of their Chopping Mall. Yeah. What did I say? Killbots. Is that another title for Chopping Mall?
I've seen Chopping Mall once.
Chopping Mall. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Thanks, man. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, they just had a watch party on the Night Watch Zone, so we watched it a couple weeks ago. It's hilarious, but that's fun. Yeah, the thing with trauma movies, like a lot of them are very jokey. A lot of the jokes to me, they were never that funny. So you know what I mean? There's a lot of gore, a lot of jokes, and some of them are kind of like, you laugh a little bit, but it's not like they're not that funny. I don't know, a little cringy. I guess that's why some people like it, I guess. But like some of their films, I guess. Yeah. What was I going to say? You said the Toy Maker. Oh, speaking of wacky movies. I know you're a fan of the Ice Cream Man, right? Clint Howard. Guess who's coming to Monster Mania next month here in New Jersey, dressed up in his Ice Cream Man outfit?
Oh,
Clint Howard.
Wow.
I might go get a photo up. I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Please do.
That's an unusual one. Everybody goes to see Kane Hodder, or you know what I mean. But to get a photo up with Clint Howard in his Ice Cream Man. Yeah. Mama Bear says Lloyd Kaufman is kind of a jerk. I don't know. I've seen interviews with him.
She's told me about that.
Is that the scuttlebutt that he's kind of a jerk? Yeah.
Yeah, she knows. She's told me a lot.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can kind of see that the way he acts, but it seemed like maybe he was just putting an act on or something. I don't know. Like he seems like a self-effacing guy. Like, hey, my biggest money-making movie was Poultrygeist, and
Poultrygeist.
Well, he was on. I think he was on. I don't know if he was on with Jay Leno. He actually made it to like a pretty mainstream talk show once, and they were joking around about that. And of course, that audience has no idea what the hell he's talking about, Poultrygeist. But so they were kind of like laughing, but he seemed like he was a good sport about it. But then, like I've seen interviews with him where he seems like maybe he can be a little jerky. So, yeah, you never know.
Dude.
But yeah, Adrienne Barbeau's going to be there too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Oh.
is cool since I just saw her in the crate. So for Creepshow, how it is. They have a lot of cancellations. People say they're coming, and then they have a conflict, so they cancel. So the young girl from Terrifier 2, she canceled, and Piper Laurie canceled, but then they added Adrienne Barbeau. So
see, this is why Mama Bear really hates that guy. He stole her husband's script that he used for Poultry Guys.
Oh, that kind of a jerk. Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And The Fog. Yeah. Yeah. Great movie. I have a poster. I've got a Fog poster. I've got a bunch of posters like this size. And darn it, the Horror Bowl poster is like a millimeter too wide for these frames.
I have so many posters. I hate that getting frames for it is hard for me.
Because I want. Yeah, I don't want to squish this in either. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't. I kind of went like a little bit on the edge, so I might have to get a custom made frame for that one. But I have one for The Fog, and I chose to get the Spanish version because I'd like to have some foreign language posters. So it says La Niebla. It's pretty cool.
Speaking of Spanish, the Spanish version of Dracula is really good. Have you seen it?
Yeah. And speaking of my son, he's actually pretty good in Spanish. And I was going to have him do like a review in Spanish of the Spanish Dracula.
Oh, cool. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, starting years ago, we started to go through all the Universal movies together. So we watched all the main ones, and then we watched some of the Hammer films too. Well, I had to redeem myself because you got to admit the Universal Mummy's a little slow. We were both, that's back when I used to work at 3:30 in the morning. So it's like 7 at night, and I'm sitting there going like, and he's like, whew, like when are they gonna like go into another room? I noticed about those old movies, even the old Dracula and even the Spanish Dracula, they stay in the same room for like 25 minutes. Then they move to another room, and it's like a static shot for 25 minutes. But so I almost think you would have to watch it again to do a proper review. But yeah, I would like to have him do a review in Spanish for that. But yeah, that's a good one. I got, I have all the Universal. Well, you see my logo is the box set for the Universal films. But then I also, I think on eBay, I saw the Dracula Legacy collection. So I got that too, even though it repeats a lot of the same movies I already have, but they had the Spanish Dracula on there. It's cool. And they have and it starts out with that interview with, what was her name? Lupita Tovar, the woman, the main woman who lived to be 106. But she must have been like in her 80s when they interviewed her, and she was like full of life. She was talking about like the differences, like her dress went like all the way down to here, and it was like considered sexy, whereas like the Helen Chandler's dress in Dracula was, it's like all the way up here, But
oh, thanks, Ant Reviews. He said he's subbed to my channel. As he's looking at it, he said he likes it a lot.
Oh, Ant, you're gonna love Nye. You're gonna love Nye's channel. All your shorts, Nye. You're doing a great job with all those shorts and everything.
Thanks.
I see things and I'm like, Nye should do a short of this. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go way off here. Oh, I can't look on my iPad because I'm using it. But I actually started this year keeping track of everything I watch because I really admire those people who are like, here's my top 30 movies from last year. And I'm like, I don't even know when half these movies came out. But I watched this one on Tubi, Honeymoon something. I don't know why I clicked on it. I think it's what they called a nudie cutie back in the day. You know about those? They were like these cheap kind of tawdry movies in the 60s. They threw in some nudity to bring in some people, and they were like some cheap thrillers. And I think this might fall into that category. But this guy and his wife on their honeymoon go to this island, and like a dummy, he forgets a bunch of stuff, so he has to go back, and he leaves her there. And then when he's getting gas for the boat, the gas station attendant tells him about like a homicidal maniac that escaped years ago. And, there's a rumor that he lives on the island. So he hurries back, and meanwhile, she's getting chased around by this guy. But prior to that, and I can just ramble on forever, guys. I'm sorry, but there's a scene where they're walking into their hotel. In the beginning, they're in Vegas and they're going to like a casino and everything, and they're having like a montage. Happy newlywed couple. They're walking to the room. He opens the door, and I went back and watched this like 10 times because I couldn't believe it. When he opens the door, you can see that the room that they're going into is dark. Okay. He opens the door. Then they cut to a woman who is in the bed. She can, and now the lights are on. So she sits up. She's not wearing anything, you know. She screams, and the guy very casually shuts the door and looks at his wife and goes, "Oh, that was the wrong room." And then and just walks into the room. I've never seen a movie shoehorn in some nudity like that blatantly before. You know what I mean? It's like they had to have their quota, I guess, of breastises. I'm going to say breastises because I follow somebody on Instagram who reviewed a movie, and she's not from the United States, so she may have it might have been a grammar thing, but she said something so funny. She was talking about I think it was one of those Japanese women's prison movies. And she was like, "If you're into tattooed breastises, this movie's for you." I was like, "I really like you. You've got a way with words." But, yeah, but that I don't know. I thought like I need to make a little reel out of that and cover up the parts. Because
hold on.
Sure.
I gotta go right quick. Hold
on. Okay. I have not seen Necromantic, Hobbs. I feel like I have because everybody has talked about it. Well, so many people in the community have talked about it, but I actually haven't seen either one. But that is crazy. But yes, on my channel, I did review, if Babang is still here, I did review a movie from the Philippines called The Road, everybody. And from about 10 years ago. It was pretty good. Nye actually gave me a little list of some other movies to look for.
okay.
Yeah. And including the one I want to see. Oh, which one is that?
That's Courtney. That's a baby.
Courtney.
This is Sabrina's baby.
Okay.
Oh, okay. She don't want to be on camera. Okay, I'll put you down.
Yeah. I was just telling everybody I watched that movie, The Road. But the one I want to see is the one of the ones you told me about, Clarita, but I can't seem to find it anywhere. Yeah. So far, I've known, because I started to watch another one, but it was called Binhi or something. It was very slow. It's like a ghost movie in the Philippines. I've noticed so far, a lot of the actresses seem to be they're not very expressive. I'm not saying the acting's bad. They're just not very expressive at all. I don't know why that is. I mean, maybe I haven't seen enough movies to fully make a judgment, but.
Yeah, that sounds like that would put me to sleep.
Yeah. But then the movie that I watched, The Road, was pretty good. But now one of the old ones that you mentioned was directed by a guy named Eddie. I don't know. A guy that was really big in the Filipino movies back then.
Oh, I can't think of it right now. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know, yeah. But he was in there's a documentary on Tubi about called The Search for Weng Weng. Have you seen that? He was Weng Weng was like a guy that had dwarfism in the Philippines, and he was in a lot of movies. In like they would like spoof like action movies and like James Bond movies, but he would be the action star. And I think his I think he was 2 feet 9 inches tall, so he was really tall. So there's I gotta plug my iPad in here, but there's a like a film nut in New Zealand who loved all his movies and just went to the Philippines to go look for him and to find out like what the heck happened. Well, he had passed away, but he went back and he pieced together the whole story. But he met a lot of the guys that made those early movies in the 70s back in the Philippines.
Hobbs, why are you doing this? He mentioned thoughts on the Necromantic franchise. I am not a fan.
I couldn't remember if you were, but I know we've talked about it so many times. It's one of those movies people bring up to joke about. I've never seen either one.
Well, well, if you're curious, don't eat anything.
Okay.
You might
Well, I
not
went
want to
through.
eat after.
Yeah, I went through a phase a while ago where I watched a couple cannibal movies. I actually Hobbs recommended the one Main Street Meats. That's a Wild Eye film. That was pretty funny. That was like that had gore and humor, a good balance of both, and the lead actress was great. That was pretty funny. And then I watched another one. I did a blind buy off of the Walmart website for some reason, called Cruel Restaurant, Japanese film.
Cruel Restaurant.
I kind of want, I want Curly Girl to watch this because when she reviews it, I know she will not tiptoe around how this woman makes these dumplings that she's serving to people. Because it's not exactly what you think. You think it's like a cannibalism movie, and it turns out to be kind of a twist on it, and it's like even more disgusting than you thought it was going to be. But it's actually not, because like when they show chopped off arms and things, it's very fakey. It wasn't that great, but yeah. So I've had my fill with cannibalism films for a little while. I think I'm good. The Maid. Oh, okay. Yeah, they have some good movies from Thailand. The Maid sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen it. The Friendly Men interviewed the director. Yeah. Have you seen the Friendly Men YouTube page? Wouldn't I? Just a bunch of cool guys that interview different people. Yeah, good.
I don't think I've seen any. Have I seen any movies from Thailand? I can't remember.
Did you see The Nurse?
No.
Oh, The Nurse is good.
I'm trying to think. What movie was that I reviewed? You remember Macabre?
Oh yeah, you did review that. Was that from Thailand? I think it might have been.
I'm getting Thailand and Indonesia mixed up right now.
Oh, it might have been. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, where was the original Shudder?
Shudder
with TT.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Was the original one was a Thai movie, right?
I think I've seen it once.
Yeah,
it was so long ago.
They remade it with some American actors like Joshua Jackson, and they said it in Japan. A lot of people crapped on it. I thought it was pretty good.
I haven't seen that one.
It was okay, but I mean, I think the original one was better. But they did some different things. I mean, it was okay. But yeah, The Nurse is good. I've told the story many times about how this nurse comes back from the dead and she gets revenge on all these other nurses, sick nurses. Sick nurses.
Sick nurses. Okay, that's on my list. I haven't seen it before. Yeah. Sick nurses. I'm gonna have to try to watch that tonight.
She gets revenge on all these people. It might get noisy here because someone's home and they don't know that I'm doing this, but
I love revenge flicks.
Yeah, it's good. Well, she gets all these people in different ways, but she the part that really got me was probably the least disgusting part for most people. But since I grew up with two daughters that have long brunette hair and it used to get everywhere and the sofas and everything, and you would wash your clothes and it would be in your pocket of your clothes, and there's a scene when this woman wraps up one of the nurses in a cocoon of human hair, and I was just like, well, most people were like, it's kind of really got to me. Yeah, that was pretty good. Sick nurses, yeah. There's a movie called The Nurse, but that's not what I was thinking.
Wait. Is it the one with Billy Zane's sister in it? Because I had that movie. There is a movie called The Nurse. I don't know if it was a cable movie.
Billy
but
Zane's
I
real
have it.
sister?
Yeah, he has a sister, Lisa.
Uh,
Mm,
no, that's not. I don't think that's the one I'm thinking of. The one I'm
mm.
thinking
Well,
of had.
I'm gonna have to do a clip about it then. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
think
anybody
the.
remembers.
Okay. I think the actress's
Mm,
name in the movie The Nurse is Paz de la Huerta.
mm. I've heard of
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's
I
a
think,
different one.
yeah, there
Okay.
was a backstory to the movie. I think she got injured on the set or something. There was some kind of controversy about it, but that movie's okay. Different kind of movie than Sick Nurses. Um, best revenge movies. The original I Spit on Your Grave says, and yeah, it's a pretty good revenge movie. You know, if you could stomach it. I do like the twist they had in the remake, where they had like an additional character who was in with the bad guys that you didn't expect. That was pretty cool, but also hard to watch. You know,
Mm.
uh, yeah. Let's see what else I got here. I watched. Oh wait, I mentioned this one. You had seen the Mad Monster, right?
I had that movie.
Yeah. The Mad Monster is pretty good. That was on here. The the werewolf that wears has clothes and wears a hat. But from this from this movie, I watched from this compilation, I watched Dead Men Walk the other day.
I have that movie.
You have it? Have you seen it? I mean,
I have it. You think I
so
have the movie? I haven't watched it.
yeah, it was
It's a DVD collection. Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know where it is, but I have that Dead Man Walks. I have that movie. I just don't remember what happened in it.
yeah. Well,
I
it was kind of forgettable. A lot of these are like an hour or so. You know what I mean? But, you know,
yeah.
they tend to get like a couple good people. I mean, some
Mm,
George Zuko, but that
yeah.
was okay. It was like he played two roles. One of them was like two brothers. The one comes back from the dead, so he's kind of like a vampire, but not like the classic vampire. It was
I
okay.
don't know too much about George Zuko.
He was like more like a character actor.
Mm.
So, but he was pretty good. He was in that Mad Monster. Now I always thought like they should have capitalized more on Glenn Strange after he started playing Frankenstein's monster. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's what they were trying to do, and that's probably like the best one, the Mad Monster, because he was in. They got the Monster Maker on here,
I
but
love that movie.
it's that movie's pretty whack, but it's not like the monster's the guy in a stretcher the whole movie. You know what I mean? He gives the guy, he injects the guy with something, and the guy has like a disease, like some agromegalia or something, and they explain it. And but Glenn Strange is just the guy, the doctor's helper, his orderly, named Steve. It's like it's so bizarre to me that you have what you call a monster movie, and you have the guy that played Frankenstein's monster, and he's not the monster. But that movie's pretty fun though.
That reminds me, have you seen Dracula versus Frankenstein?
The what is that is it like a Jess Franco movie from the 70s?
No, I don't think it is. No, my brother has this movie and I saw it one time. You talking about Frankenstein, that made me remind you. Yeah, I just remember there was a fight at the end of Frankenstein and Dracula. They're fighting. It that's all I can remember, but for Dracula's makeup, they had his makeup, on his face, but they didn't do it for his
Oh,
well, let me look it up because
yeah.
Dracula versus. You need to see it if you haven't.
Okay.
I need to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I need to show that fight scene. Cause yeah, it came out in 1971.
Okay.
Yeah. Al Adamson directed it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Lon Chaney Jr. This was his last role.
That's his last one. Okay.
Mhm.
And it was just a mask, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
You know, and it's so funny. We're talking about like Glenn Strange taking over Frankenstein's monster for Boris Karloff. Boris Karloff, he didn't want to do that forever. You know,
Mhm.
he only did it 3 times. The opposite of that is Lon Chaney was like, "What, werewolf movie? You know, you want to pay me $500? I'll jump in your werewolf movie. Sure. You know, like I'll do anything for money."
Mhm.
You know, I'm making alligator people that morning, but I'll be there by 4 o'clock to put on a werewolf mask. You know, sure.
Mhm.
Well, I know even one of the Universal movies, I think there's a quick scene where the Wolfman, uh, you know, he looks like the Wolfman, but then he brings his hands up and it's just, they're completely bare human hands. You know, they didn't do the makeup on the hands at all. And I guess it was just kind of by accident that you could see the hands, but that's just kind of picky. Oh, Hobbs has got a good question for thank you, Mama Bear Storm, for stopping by. And welcome, Vampire Princess. 3 a.m. in the UK. Thanks for being here. But you see that question from Hobbs, Nye?
Hobbs, what are you doing? Why are you doing this tonight?
But you know, the director of that movie,
trash.
the director of that movie has said that he doesn't mind people making fun of it. Like there was that one channel. He said they talked about it for like an hour and a half. They just ripped on the movie for like longer than the runtime of the actual movie. And he was like, "Hey, you know, at least somebody talked about my movie." You know, but yeah. Well, it's you got to admit, Hobbs pays attention to our reviews. You know.
Yeah, that's good. Oh man, but you haven't seen the Friendship Game, have you?
No.
Well, that was my worst movie of 2022. That's
Okay.
what I said.
You probably did a review of it, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get attacked for it, but people agreed with me. I was shocked.
Okay.
Oh,
People did agree with you that it was bad.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, it's a Canadian movie. I don't know if anybody's Canadian on this, but I do have some Canadian friends, and I tell them I don't really like Canadian horror movies.
Well, I think the original My Bloody Valentine was Canadian, right? I think.
It's okay.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I've seen My Bloody Valentine. I was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Um.
And then there's then they
What is
had
that movie? What is that movie? I forgot it. See, Madhouse is one of my favorite movies, and it's compared to Madhouse. What is it called? You know what it's called? It's a Canadian movie. You know, Madhouse had twin sisters, and one was crazy, killing people. What's the name of that movie? Y'all, what's the name of the movie? Happy Birthday to Me.
Oh, Happy
Yeah.
Birthday to Me.
I
Okay.
can't stand that movie.
I'm not crazy about that one. Yeah. But I used to like the Canadian movies where they used to pretend that it was set in the American South because people were getting tax breaks to make movies in Canada back then. They always had like a couple actors in there that had the Canadian accent would slip out. You'd be like, wait a minute, something's funny here. But
have you seen Funeral Home? That's a Canadian movie.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do a clip on that too. I'm getting all these ideas tonight.
Curtains is a Canadian movie, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen Curtains. I've heard of it.
You know the scene about the ice skating scene, right? With the
yeah.
I know Bill Burr did a whole bit about that, about how movies back then just had these like nightmare fuel scenes in them that were like, where did they come up with this? You know, the person like skating faster and faster, wearing that horrible mask. Like that's okay.
Oh man.
I think
But
is Kathy's Curse a Canadian movie?
yes,
Yeah. Oof.
yes, I love Kathy's Curse.
It's kind of messed up though.
I just can't imagine anybody being scared in that movie.
Right.
It's just so
Like
it's pitiful.
when some of the way they do the effects, like Kathy gets mad at people and they like put flashing lights on the screen, and then something was supposed to have happened to somebody, and it's like it's not what you call scary. It's just a wacky movie though.
That ugly raggedy that doll. Yeah. That that voice that Kathy does, the possessed voice.
Right.
I'm not gonna try to do it, but I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You think you're gonna try to scare people with that?
But it's not a scary movie. It's just a goofy movie. The movie reminds me of The Pit a little bit, the way it feels.
I haven't seen The Pit.
Oh,
I need to see it. Is it the one about that boy and a teddy bear?
Yeah, you're gonna get like 10 reels out of that one. I mean,
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Bones? How's it going, Bones? Horror Wheels. Yep. Oh, speaking of wheels, yeah, I lost my train of thought. And speaking of train, this is weird. I've been, I try to finish movies, even if I'm not really into them. I started one the other day called Road Train on Tubi, because I like movies like Duel. Actually, you know this movie? Highwaymen?
I have that movie. Wow. I was thinking about that recently. I need to do something with it.
That was really good. I was like really surprised by that. And actually, to be honest, I had never seen. I've only seen Joyride recently. I was like, wow, that was pretty good too.
Seen that.
So I like those kind of road movies, the chase movies. I like Duel, of course. It's one of the classic movies. So here's an Australian movie called Road Train. It's got a picture of a truck on the cover. And in Australia, when they drive across the outback, they have one cab and they take like 2 or 3 trailers. And so the trucks are huge. They're long. That's why they call them road trains, because they only go straight. So they go across the outback, and then when they get outside of the city, they take them apart and they drive off with individual trucks. So I was like, wow, this is going to be like a version of Duel, but in the outback with a bigger truck. Well, the chasing part is in the first 10 minutes. And then from that point on, the truck barely moves. And it's like a haunted truck movie, kind of. And it's like bad. It's like false advertising, because you think it's going to be like a chase movie. I still haven't finished it.
Australian movies are weird. Like all genres.
There's some really good ones. I mean, but I haven't. I don't know if I've seen any really good ones lately, though. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I watched a crocodile movie a while ago called Blackwater Abyss. That was okay. Then I watched that movie Rogue that came out in like 2006, and I can see Blackwater Abyss copy that one a little bit. That was a pretty good killer crocodile movie, Rogue. Had John Jarrett, had Sam Worthington, but before he was starting to get popular, so he had a small role, which was good. I don't know if I really like him that much. Boar, yeah, Wolf Creek, of course, yeah.
Yeah, Wolf Creek. Is it wrong that I laugh at that?
It's very wrong.
He's like the Australian Freddy Krueger.
But he's funny though. He's kind of funny.
I hate him. Like the first Wolf Creek, you remember I forgot her name, the girl, she was getting help from that old man.
Yeah.
he put her in the back of his car, on the back seat, and all of a sudden, a shot came and knocked him in. He's that noise. I don't. It's certain things that make me laugh.
Yeah.
Sound effects. Is
Right.
and in part two, um, when he came to get that guy, this elderly couple brought him in. What is
Okay.
that
Yeah.
character's name? I just know his real name is Ryan Core. He was after him, and the guy got his gun, and he's like, we're gonna go out through the back. He's not gonna get you." He got in the house and took his gun and shot him. He heard him click the gun. Shit.
Yeah. I think the beginning of that. I'd like the beginning of Wolf Creek 2. The very beginning with the two cops.
Yeah, that kill. Oh my god.
Because you know him from the first movie, and you know that they don't know who they're messing with, and it just builds up and builds up. They give him the ticket and they drive away, and you see him like thinking, like, like, so sure enough, like the cops driving.
He came and he looked at what he did. Oh,
Yeah,
good aim.
I forget what he says to the cop right before the car catches on fire, but it's like, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Like I said, I have to watch those movies alone, because if I watch with anybody, like, what is wrong with you?
You laugh at the wrong part, yeah.
Oh, I need help. You need help. I can't help. Oh man, but this Saturday and a long time ago, are you a Charles Bronson fan?
Yeah.
I used to always watch a Charles Bronson movie on Saturday night. Death Wish movies are my favorite. Part 3, I love Part 3.
I like 2. Part 3 I haven't seen in a while.
Part 3 is crazy.
Yeah,
That part
I've got Death Wish 2 on here, and I've also got like a 1, 2, and 3 set. Yeah, I love Bronson, and of course 5 is just nuts. 5 is like a video game. Which one has the giggler? Is that the giggler? Is that 3 or 4? When he shoots the giggler? That street gang, the guy's got the...
Yeah, that's 3. That's
3. Yeah. 3. Yeah, okay, yeah. No, 3. Yeah, 3 I like a lot. 3 is fun. Yeah.
I laughed at Part 3 too. I laughed so much.
Yeah, Bones is saying he just watched Ninja 3 for the first time.
Ninja?
It's funny. You see Ninja 3, The Domination, on a lot of sets. That seems to be one people they go right to this one. Apparently this one's like kind of crazy. You don't really have to watch the first 2. They have the Exterminator 2 on here. So I was asking Danny B from the Trash Stash, do you have to watch the Exterminator first? And he was like, yeah, it kind of helps, because I remember the ads for those movies when I was a kid. They kind of scared me, because the guy had the serious voiceover, Robert Ginty is the Exterminator, and he's actually kind of a regular guy, though. He's not like a real trouble. Well, he gets kind of tough, but yeah, that was pretty good. I haven't watched the second one yet. How about
oh man,
have you seen
both said I'm the giggler.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's true. Seen what?
How about 10 to Midnight? Have you seen that?
That
Yeah, I
guy
just
was
watched.
so crazy.
That's creepy. I just watched that a little while ago. That's pretty much a straight up horror movie, pretty much, with Bronson in it.
Isn't Charles John Travolta's wife was in there, wasn't
Oh,
she?
really?
She
Okay.
played one of the roommates, one young
Oh,
girls.
okay.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah,
I think that was her.
yeah.
Yeah, Kelly Preston.
Okay, okay.
Mm. I don't
Yeah.
know where to go. Mm.
Bone says you don't have to watch Ninja 1 and 2. I wouldn't. I didn't think you did, but you know. I'll watch that. Sometimes I get in the mood for some of those old cheesy canon movies. I just watched Invasion USA a couple weeks ago with Chuck Norris. That's speaking of movies that are like video games. That's pretty nuts.
Have you seen where's my brain right now? It's one of my favorite movies. Now, what is it? Invaders from Mars. Are you a fan of that movie?
I've never seen. You know, it's amazing. I've never seen either one of them.
Oh my gosh.
I
Damn.
like. I, you know, for the original one, I guess it wasn't in rotation on my channels when I was growing up. I used to
Mm,
read about it in magazines and things. And then I know they remade it. It's a Tobe Hooper movie, right? I know they
yes.
remade it, and I guess probably because I didn't see the original, that's why I didn't watch the remake. But yeah, I'm glad you
Mm,
reminded me of that because I'm amazed I haven't seen that either one of those.
mm, mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is the remake like serious or is it like kind of like a spoof?
it's serious to me. But
Okay.
I was laughing at it though. You
Oh
know
well,
me.
yeah.
That teacher, this little boy named David Gardner, his teacher ate a frog. And it was she did that. I couldn't keep a straight face the rest of the movie. Which, my God, I saw that when I was little, and that became my favorite movie. It kept
Yeah.
coming on. Fox in the '90s, they would put on all these horror movies on the weekends. I don't know if you remember that, or were you watching
Okay.
Fox back then? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't really.
that's
I don't
where
really
I
remember.
saw a lot of these movies.
Okay. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Anthony. Hey,
hey,
Anthony.
Anthony.
You saw
Hi.
the '80s one. Had some solid practical effects. Yeah, that's good. That's worth watching right there. I
Mhm,
I definitely got to check that out. Seriously. Also,
mhm,
because like
yeah,
Tobe Hooper's one of those guys I've pretty much seen most of his movies. So there's one or
mhm,
two or three out there that I haven't seen. I want to watch the rest of them.
mhm.
I just saw. Speaking of alligators and crocodiles, I just saw that. What is that? Eaten Alive.
Oh my gosh, I've seen
I had
that.
wanted to see that for years. I finally saw that a while ago. That was. We're speaking of
Robert
Robert
Englund
Englund.
was in
Yeah,
there. He's really young.
yeah, he was very young, very young.
Mhm.
But that was okay. It seemed like they could
Yeah.
have. It seemed like they could have filmed that. Maybe they even did film it inside,
Mm.
soundstage. It seemed, you know what I mean? It was pretty much that like one set. It didn't have didn't look as cinematic as Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I still
Oh.
enjoyed it. It was kind of goofy. You know,
Mhm.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that I thought Robert Englund was going to be the bad guy feeding people to the alligator.
Mhm.
I didn't know that it was actually turned out to be Neville Brand, was the weirdo guy.
Neville Brand. I don't know anything about him. I mean, I just know him from that movie. Like,
Yeah,
was he an alcoholic or something in real life, or
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I heard he died. Well, I know he did, but he. I mean, he didn't. He died, but it was too soon.
So
Why
yeah,
can't
I
I
don't.
remember that? I was watching a commentary. My brother has the Blu-ray of that, and I was listening to it. I'm like, well,
Okay.
what happened to him?
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
I need to look him up.
yeah. I
I
don't
don't
think
know anything on that.
he wasn't in too much after that. He was in Killdozer, the made for
Mm,
TV movie.
mm,
He was in Without Warning. That was
mm,
that was I think that was in 1979. So I can't think of anything after that he was in.
mm,
Without Warning,
mm.
also known as Without Action. But but the commercial scared me when I was a kid. The alien guy throwing the little discs at people. Yeah, that scared the hell out of me when I was a kid.
Speaking of that, are you a fan of exploitation films?
Yeah.
I'm not, but I watch them, because I can't help myself.
Right.
Because I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The worst one I think I've seen was I don't know why, I just think it's necromantic too. I it's something about part two. I made it through part one,
Right.
but part two I don't get it. People don't really like part two. They like first one. I don't know. It just grossed me out so bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the ones back in like the 70s were like they were trying to be like more shocking. They weren't like trying to gross people out. You know, I forget what's the name of that one I just got. Fight, run, fight, run, run and fight.
Oh, that reminds me of a movie. There's a movie called Run, Run, Bitch, Run.
Oh yeah, I've never seen it, but yeah.
I've seen it and I've seen the remake. I watched the remake a few weeks ago. It's terrible. Don't watch it, please.
Okay. All right.
I'm not even gonna do anything with it. It's just I just want to block it out of my head.
Yeah.
That is just oh, it was disgusting.
Okay.
Like, like it was like porn.
Yeah.
It was like porn stars made a horror film. I'm serious. I was like, what the hell am I watching?
Well, maybe they were like that one Cruel Restaurant movie I was telling you about, the Japanese one. That was I think that was the main thing. They got a woman from those movies to be in it, and I think you were supposed to be like, oh, what a big deal. And actually, to be honest, their acting was okay, but like that, you know what I mean? They were relying too much on that, and there was like nothing else to the movie. Not a whole lot else to the movie.
You know who was a favorite actress of mine, and she used to do porn. I was shocked. Tracy Lords.
Oh
I
yeah, I
love
remember.
Tracy Lords.
Yeah,
I heard
like
that. I
a
was
big.
like, what?
Yeah, well, that was like a big scandal back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember reading about that and hearing about that. Yeah. She was in the remake of sci-fi movie. Can't remember.
Tracy Lords.
But that was like a scandal. Yeah.
I've got Excision in my head. That's the last movie I saw her in. She played the mother. Have you seen that?
No.
Excision has Annalyn McCord in it. You need to see it. It's like a David Lynch movie. Really messed up.
Okay.
Yeah, this girl that's obsessed with blood. That's all I'm gonna say. Is I plan on having a snack in a few minutes.
Right. Have you seen the new movie called Blood?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Is
I think
it
it's
good?
getting pretty good review. I haven't seen it. I think it's getting pretty good reviews, but I want to be careful though. Because so many things get overhyped. Actually, you know what? Let me ask you about
it's like Infinity Pool.
Oh,
I tell you, that's why I stay away. That's why I stay away all the time from these popular movies. Because when I see them, I get disappointed.
Yeah, and that clip that you showed, that was a very helpful clip. Because if the rest of the movie's like that, like, oh my gosh, like that, just her voice in that clip made me want to like pull my hair out of my head.
I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed of myself. I made a trailer of it a few months ago. I was like, I'm excited for this.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. Like I didn't see X until it had been out a while, and I liked it. and I still haven't seen Pearl yet, and I'm ready to like it, but
Pearl is good. I like
I'm not,
Pearl.
I'm not going to get my hopes up. But then I saw this. I got this from Dollar Tree. Do you even remember this being advertised? Don't Knock
Don't
Twice.
Knock Twice. I've heard of that. I've never seen it.
Okay, I'm not saying
What
it
is
was
it
the
about?
great. It's about a woman who's she lost custody of her daughter. She's trying to get her daughter to come back with her. Her daughter and her friend play this game. They go up to this house that's supposed to be haunted. You're not supposed to knock on the door twice. Her friend knocks on the door twice and he disappears. And then he comes in. He comes into the asylum, or this kind of mysterious witch type woman comes into the asylum and is going after little girls. So then she goes back to live with the mom, basically just because she's afraid. And then they both have to fend off this sort of witchy woman. It was pretty good. I mean, it was kind of familiar, but I'm watching it. I'm thinking like, you know, a lot of the movies that get hyped are not as good as this, or maybe just as good. And this is something I don't even remember hearing about. So watching this, I enjoyed this probably about as much as I enjoyed watching X. You know what I mean? Like, and it's funny the way that works out. And then like something like this, I was like, whoa, I really like
Highwayman.
Highwayman.
Yeah, that is an awesome movie.
It was really good. Good villain.
Yeah. And
really,
I'm a Jim Caviezel fan.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of weird movies that I like.
Yeah. I don't think he does too much. He hasn't done too much recently, I don't think, but he's good.
Yeah.
And I had never heard of that. And I like I said, I like movies that combine horror and cars and driving. Have you ever seen? I'm gonna block part of the cover. I think, well, not for that reason, but I think they give too much away. How about this?
Okay. Shuttle?
Okay.
I've never heard of it.
If you look at the bottom part, you can kind of tell what the ending is about. I'm like, why did they put that on the cover?
That's something new.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the very ending, but it shows too much. Like the first part where it says a bus ride to hell. That's a pretty good description, but that's pretty good. This it's kind of almost reminds me of Taken a little bit, but these two girls get back from a trip and it's like raining and it's late, and there's a shuttle pulls up. And they're about to get in, and another guy's like, hey, I'll charge you less than that guy. And they end up going with this guy, and I forget the guy's name, but you've seen him in movies before. Tony Curran. You'd recognize him. And he's the shuttle driver. And there's another like nerdy kind of a guy already on the shuttle. And then, but there's a scene you would laugh. Because they're driving through like a bad part of town. And they're like, what's taking so long? And he's like, oh, we have to go this way. And he keeps making all these excuses. And a car at one point speeds toward them and causes them to swerve. And I don't think they ever explain it. So I guess they were just in a bad part of town and somebody was driving crazily. So they get a flat tire. So the shuttle driver has the two guys there's two guys that they meet too that also get on the shuttle. Has one of the guys help him with the flat tire. And a horrible accident happens while they're changing the tire, and the one guy gets hurt really bad. And I'm pretty sure you would start cracking up at that point, even though it's not supposed to be funny. But they show the shuttle driver's face. This guy is screaming in pain, and he's just kind of sitting there like, like he doesn't react. It's just like almost like he kind of planned it that way. And then you're like, I think, well, from the movie, from the cover, this guy's going to be evil, but it was pretty good.
Anthony said, you would like Pearl. It has a different vibe from the X. Had a more of a homage to the 70s. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. But I like Pearl a lot. I didn't really like X.
Okay. that's another thing. Like I'm hearing people seem to have all different kinds of opinions. Some people like X more, some people like Pearl more.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do with Maxine when it's just her after those events. You know what I mean? Like what kind of situation is she going to get into a whole different situation, or is she going to go like little wacky, little bonkers? I don't really know. I don't know where they're going to take it.
He's already wet.
She did see some stuff
Well,
in X, so kind of.
Oh man, movies. Dan, what's the worst movie you've ever seen?
It's really bad. It's so bad I never remember the name of it. It's that because I mean, I like bad movies that are so bad they're good, so that kind of rules a lot of those out because I enjoy watching them. But there was that movie about the Bell Witch haunting that had Donald Sutherland and Sissy Spacek in it. It was like the worst sin of a horror movie is it can be boring, right? And I don't remember much about it at all. And the Bell Witch was supposed to be like a really famous haunting in the 1800s. It's like the famous, like the big haunting of that whole century, And they at the end they explained it away, that it wasn't. I'm spoiling it, but nobody remembers and nobody's seen it, and I don't care because I'm saving. If you guys think I'm spoiling it, I'm saving you from watching this. At the end, it turns out not to be a witch, and they explain it away. And like for another movie, you can do that, but not when it's about the Bell Witch. That's supposed to be like, like a real haunting. And it's just like I don't remember anything about it other than that final twist, which I hated. That was pretty bad.
But,
yeah, I mean, I've seen some bad ones lately. Like this movie I was telling you about, Road Train. It wasn't bad enough to be good. It was just it's boring, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like bad movies. It's the one I did with on my friend from the Mad Bloods, Raw Mad Blood. We did we talked about the whole thing of the Ed Wood movie. I can't remember. My gosh. An Ed Wood movie.
You had me thinking of one now. What was that movie called? Something about
Tor Johnson.
But now you got this in my head. Glenn and Greta? Was that the
Glenn and Glenda? No, it wasn't Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn and Glenda.
That movie's bad.
I saw that one time. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
His movies are just really. I just can't understand them. You think I would laugh? I'm not. I'm really confused.
Yeah, right. He put a lot of his personal stuff on the screen. You know what I mean? And so you're like, what's going on here? Like he had this weird like fetish with like touching like cloth and stuff. So in his movies, like in the one Bride of the Monster with Bela Lugosi and Tor Johnson, he's like rubbing the woman's sweater, and it's like goes on and on and on, and it's like weird. But that's because that was like an Ed Wood, like a strange thing.
What Bela Lugosi was in Glenn and Glenda, wasn't he? I think
he did like a voiceover. He did like the voiceover. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much
so bad for him.
Yeah. Well, he ended his career making movies with Ed Wood. I mean, he died during Plan 9 from Outer Space. So. Night of the Ghouls.
Have I seen that?
Yeah. Actually, it was actually lost.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was actually lost for a long time, and then somebody found it again. Or actually, no. He didn't pay to have it. They finished the film and it got put on the shelf, and all he had to do was pay the production company money he owed them to get it like distributed, and he didn't do it. He went on to making other movies. So, but like 25 years later, somebody found it, and now you can watch it, and it's bad, like bad. But yeah, we had a great time talking about it because it's so weird, you know.
Mm. 20 minutes, Dan. 10 o'clock. I gotta go. I'm going to bed. You
All
know
right.
how early I had to wake up this morning for work.
Yeah. That's all right. We can go for about another 10 minutes and wrap it up. That's fine. That's fine. Whoops.
Are you a fan of silent films? I am.
I haven't watched any. Back in the day, I watched some of the Russian ones.
I love Soviet
Battleship
movies.
Potemkin. Yeah, Soviet. You know, the some of those the Eisenstein movies. You know, I watched like Nosferatu and Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. You know, some of the more well known ones. I didn't really take a whole deep dive into those.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to be in the mood. But I do like them.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of messed up ones. I've got like 100 ideas for being on this show tonight. Thank you, Dan. This is what I already have built up.
No, I know we had a rough start. I'm glad you came on. I needed needed a good laugh.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. We all need a good laugh.
Yeah.
We need to laugh more. The world is really hard.
Yep. I got this too. You remember this from back in the day, right?
I love that show. I love it, but Tales from the Crypt is #1 for me.
Yeah.
That is my favorite TV show of not just a horror show, any show. I love Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
And
I got to go back and watch some of those. Yeah.
Yeah. It introduced me to why this won't stay in my ear. Directors like I'm fans of like Robert. I don't know if anybody likes it, but I like Robert Zemeckis. He's okay.
Yeah.
He messed up the Witches remake, but let's just forget about that. Joel Silver. Yeah, a lot of these up and coming directors, they directed episodes on that show. It was just really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess you still have that here and there. My favorite episode of that Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
That's a good show.
Most of them are good. The one in the morgue, what was that called? The one with Glenn Timon and
was it like he was trying to put his body? He was an alien or something.
Yeah, it was like an alien. And
yeah, he was trying.
The guy's doing an autopsy, and there's
yeah, something like that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I looked up that director. He's got very few credits. Like
what?
I was like very impressed by that. I was like, I don't know if, off the top of my head, I don't know what his name is, but I could definitely see that guy going places because that was like really well done. And that's what I think. Like I know, like you bring up somebody like Rob Zombie or M. Night Shyamalan, and everyone's going to have their opinions all over the place. I think some of those guys go back and direct an hour-long show like that. You know what I mean? Stop. You know what I mean? Don't get away from your normal thing and just go direct a show like that or something to kind of get away from the normal thing you do.
Might get your groove back. Might get stuff. I don't know a movie out of it. My favorite one from Cabinet of Curiosity was it was one about the rat in the graveyard rat. That was so.
There was a that was also that same story was adapted in the Tales. Oh wait a minute, Trilogy of Terror 2. Trilogy of Terror.
I haven't seen part 2. I didn't know there was a part 2.
Yeah, Trilogy of Terror 2 came out in the 90s. It's got the sequel to the Amelia, with the doll, the crazy killer doll. So it's got the sequel to that, and that's okay. It's pretty good. They can never like recreate the original whenever they do that, but they also have a version of that, Graveyard Rats, with Jeffrey Lewis, who's played Clint Eastwood's buddy in like a lot of Clint Eastwood movies. But they take out the zombie element, because the original story is actually I have a collection of zombie stories. It's downstairs. But I was pleased to see that was in there, because there's rats in the Guillermo del Toro one. There was actually zombies in there too. There was like at least one, right? But yeah, that was a good one. And you know who directed and starred in that? That's the guy, David Hewlett. That's the guy that played Leon in Pin.
What? Wow.
That's Leon from Pin.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to go back and watch that episode. I'm gonna do that tonight before I go to bed.
Yeah. That was a good one. The first one was good. The one with the storage locker, that was good. And then the Graveyard Rats one was good. And the other one we were talking about with the autopsy was good. But they kind of messed up. Pickman's model, because that was also.
I've seen it, but
that's the one with the painting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because they made that as a Night Gallery episode, and that was one of the best Night Gallery episodes. And they even had for TV back then. They even had a pretty good monster. In that one. Yeah, it was like they actually took the part of the costume from the Creature from the Black Lagoon, like the arms and legs, and then they had like a rat, like a big rat face on it, and it was actually it's pretty good. It was much better than the one for Cabinet of Curiosities. That was okay. And then the last one was weird. The last episode with the birds.
I've seen it.
The murmuring, I watched it and was like, what did I just watch? Like, what happened there? Yeah.
Another one was the one with that lady that bought this lotion off of TV.
Oh yeah,
to make her beautiful. I did not think anything was gonna happen. I was really shocked at the end.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
She's gonna turn into a monster.
It was like, what's going on here? It's like a day in the life of this strange woman, like, what is going on here?
I was like, that guy that she got this from on TV was in that info commercial. I just thought he was some evil, something, evil guy. And I was surprised. It took a long time though.
It did.
But that was really shocking.
Yeah. But I hope they make some more of those. I know, actually the one Night Gallery set I have, Guillermo del Toro does the commentary in a lot of those episodes.
Oh.
Because, you can listen to his commentary because, he grew up watching those kind of shows. So, he's into those shows, and, I love all those anthology shows. Well, most of them, The Creep Show one was.
Lights Out? Have you seen Lights Out?
No.
Oh. Boris Karloff, he hosted it. It's an old show.
Wait a minute.
Then 40s, 50s. Yeah, it used to come on cable.
Well, Boris Karloff had Thriller, and then he also had.
Yeah, The Veil. Yeah.
The Veil.
Yeah.
Which they filmed, and then.
I know he had Lights Out. I'm not crazy. What?
Okay, no, you know what though? I think you're right. So when I was reading about The Veil,
he goes Lights Out.
Okay.
Every time it would come on. Let me look it up right now. I'm not crazy. I've seen so much stuff, but a lot of it was late at night.
Right.
So sometimes I'm like, was I dreaming this?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, but where the chorus Karloff at? I know I'm not lights out. Oh, yeah, Boris Karloff, lights out.
Okay.
I see it came out in the 30s. Yeah.
The 30s. Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
I gotta check that
Which
out.
channel used to have that on? Was it Sci-Fi Channel? I don't like Sci-Fi Channel anymore, but I
No.
used to love it back in the day. It was an awesome channel.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
whew,
it used to be like to be honest, it was mostly the horror channel for a while there. You know what I mean?
mhm, yeah,
It used to be good. Hi,
yeah.
Katie. How are you?
Mhm,
Um, that's the funny thing. Like when you said you don't kind of remember because it came on late at night. One
mhm.
of the reasons I got the whole night gallery set was 'cause I think that used to come on at 11 at night, and sometimes I would just, I would be falling asleep, or the intro of the show would scare me, and I would turn it off and go to bed. So,
Yeah.
so
Um,
I have vague memories of a couple episodes.
mhm. um, TNT had a show really late. It was called 100% Weird. Do you remember that?
No,
No one remembers that show.
on TNT.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, TNT, that was my channel. When I was
Well,
little,
yeah.
it had so many stuff come on. Oh, what about USA Up All Night?
Oh yeah.
You watch that?
Oh, up all night. Come on. I mean, I like, for obvious reasons, I like Ron DeShear. But Gilbert Godfrey was funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like all those because that reminded me of some of the shows I grew up with that were hosted by people.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
in
I
Philly,
like that.
we had Dr. Shock in Philly, and then later on we had Stella,
Mhm.
Saturday Night Dead with Stella. She was funny. That was like a local Philadelphia thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have somebody. Ben Gully. I watched
Yeah.
that.
Spangoli. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wish I can go back in time when I was a kid and like watch some of those hosts from different parts of the country. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because when I
Yeah.
was a kid, I didn't even know. Because I watched movies on the Philadelphia stations.
Mhm.
And if there were sports on, it was like, oh, well, no horror movies this Saturday, darn. But if I had the
Mhm.
ability to go watch, like, Dr. Mad Blood or Creature Features or Svengoolie or somebody like that, that would have been great.
Have you seen The Evil?
The is that
Uh,
with Richard Crenna? Yeah, I've seen
mhm.
that.
That's a good movie.
That's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I like the end when they sort of go to hell and
Yeah.
the
The
devil's down there. Like for
whole
the
time
time,
in the house.
for
That was weird.
for the time though, like you see that on paper, and you're like, oh, that could turn out like to look bad, but it actually made it look pretty good.
Hmm.
They had Victor Buono played the devil. He was a villain in the old Batman show.
Yeah. Um. Oh, I was gonna say something I forgot.
They got remember Devil Dog?
I saw that about 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's on that just came on today on the Newcastle After Dark channel on YouTube, where they show a movie every month and they host it and they talk about it.
I haven't
They
seen that. I'm gonna
they
look
just
that up.
Yeah,
Castle
Newcastle
After
After
Dark.
Dark. Yeah,
Newcastle After. Okay.
yeah, yeah. They've got a lot of good ones on there. Like they've I've sometimes my son and I we used to watch it. They would have like Dr. Fives. They've had and every once in a while they'll put something up and then it'll get taken down. Unfortunately, because that's the way it
What?
works sometimes with YouTube. But
YouTube's pain in the ass.
aren't
But
they?
it's still the best place to
Yeah,
make content.
right. It is. But I mean,
I mean, TikTok is okay, but I learned from it. It doesn't really do anything. It's just the stupidest stuff goes viral.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I really want to thank you for coming on with me. Like I said, I needed a positive boost or something. I don't know.
Hey,
I need you to come on and laugh with me. Is
I
what I'm
had
saying.
fun. I had a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Sorry, it took me a
You
while to
know, I
get
was
going
able
in
to
the
talk
beginning.
more.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring a notebook
I'm
next
gonna
time.
call out every stream I've been on. I'm not scared. I don't get to talk that much. I never get a word in. Every time I go, I want to talk, and I forget. I have so many things I want to say, and I forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all want me on
Sometimes.
the show? You better let me talk.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard when you see like 3, 4, 5 people on at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah. I definitely want to like start doing this and start reaching out to some people and interviewing them. One thing I was thinking about doing is like bringing some people that haven't really mixed together on YouTube together. Like there's a young girl, she actually lives in Texas. She did review My Bloody Valentine, and I can't remember the name of the channel, but she mostly is in like old TV shows and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And she's just really cool. But to bring someone like that with someone like you, and just to meet each other, something like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. Think about trying, and like even there's some people on Instagram. I don't even know if they have YouTube channels, but they're really cool. Put a lot of effort into their Instagram post. It's like wow. So. All right, buddy. Well, I'm gonna let you and
there's Courtney.
Courtney. Let you and Courtney go. But
I'm gonna go watch that episode of Cabinet Curiosities, and then I'm gonna go watch The Pit.
You gotta watch The Pit.
Fall asleep.
Get ready to see a creepy kid. That's all I'm gonna say about The Pit.
You're positive I'm gonna get some clips out of it, huh?
Oh, you can get many clips out of that movie. Well, thanks for coming out, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
All right, I appreciate it.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
See you later.